Hello students, welcome to the next module. Let us start with a new topic today, that is refraction of light. Till now in the previous module we have studied about reflection, mirrors, that is spherical mirrors and plane mirrors, their properties, the ray diagrams, the sign conventions and the mirror formula. In this particular module we are going to study about refraction of light. So what do you mean by refraction of light? That is bending of light when it enters obliquely from one medium to another, right? So whenever we see a bending of light, or whenever there is a bending of light when it enters obliquely, or when it enters like from one medium to another, there are basically two types of medium that we will be talking about. One is a denser medium and the other is the rarer medium. Now, why does this bending of light takes place? The bending of light usually takes place because of the change in the velocity when velocity of light when it enters from one medium to another. Since we know that there are three types of mediums, one is the solid, right? The other is the liquid, and the third one is the gas. Now, due to the molecular arrangement, as we know that the molecular arrangement in solid is a little tight. That is, molecules are tightly packed. So whenever light is going to enter a solid medium, its velocity would somehow decrease. Why? Because of the arrangement of molecules, because the intermolecular forces between the molecules is very much high as compared to liquid. In case of liquid, the molecular arrangement is the molecules are a little separated from one another, so light gets enough space. As a result, its velocity would increase when it enters into a liquid medium. The other one is the gaseous medium, where the molecules are haphazardly, they are moving around, they have large intermolecular spaces in between, and due to these spaces, the velocity of light when it enters into a gaseous medium increases considerably. So the velocity of light in case of gases, the air for example, is the maximum, whereas in case of solid the velocity of light is the minimum, right? So usually speed of light is maximum in vacuum, or in air we take it as 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meters per second. Okay. Now, what is cause of refraction? As I've already told you, when light will enter from one medium to another, there will be change in the speed of light, and this is the cause of refraction. This is the cause of bending of light. As a result, we get to see various phenomena which are based upon refraction, that is bottom of a swimming pool. Whenever you go and see a swimming pool, you see that the surface of the pool is a little raised up, right? It's a little higher. It is because its actual depth and its apparent depth, that is, the apparent depth is the one that we get to see. They are different. And why does this happen? Because light from our eyes, it enters from the gaseous medium, that is from air to water. So as a result, the speed of light, now when, as in this particular example, as we see that light is traveling from air to water. So air is gas and this is liquid, right? Now its velocity is greater here, but once it enters into a liquid, its velocity decreases, right? So this is the reason why we see that the bottom of the swimming pool is higher. Even if we place lemons in a glass tumbler, they appear to be bigger. Again, because of this changing in the speed of light, the velocity of light from one medium to another. Letters of a book appear to be raised when seen through a glass slab. Another thing, in a beaker, if we keep a pencil, we see that the pencil seems to be bent, right? So this is again because of the refraction of light. Now, this is a very important setup. This is refraction through a glass slab. Here ABCD is a rectangular glass slab, right? A rectangular glass slab is in the form of a cuboid. Its opposite sides are parallel to one another, right? Now we see that once we will be doing it practically also, that if we place two pins on this particular incident ray, right? Now we have a particular ray, that is, this is the normal in this case, that is a line perpendicular to one of the interfaces of the glass slab. So we have an incident ray making some angle with the normal. This angle is preferably 30 degree, 45 degree or 60 degree, right? Now, once it enters from one medium to air to another, that is from air to glass, what will happen? There will be bending of light. The reason being the bending of light, because there is a change in the medium from air to glass. In air, the velocity of light was maximum, and in glass it somehow changes, because this is which medium? This is the gaseous medium, and this is the solid medium, so its speed would decrease. And as the result of decrease in the speed, what will happen? This particular refracted ray will bend towards the normal, right? So as a result of decrease in the speed of the light, this particular refracted ray will bend towards the normal, right? Now this particular ray would be acting for the second interface, that is AB. This will be acting as an incident ray, right? So on the other side, when light would enter from the glass back to the air, what will happen? Its speed of light will increase, and due to increase in the speed of light, what we will see is that the light ray now bends away from the normal. Now when you extend this incident ray this way, you find that this particular ray and this incident ray extended on the other side, they are parallel to one another, right? So what do we notice in this case? Here, if I1 is, for example, if I take it as 30 degree, I told you that this light ray will bend towards the normal, so obviously this R1 will be lesser than I1, right? Now this R1 and this incident angle on the other interface would be the same, because they are alternate angles, right? And this particular ray, which is known as the emergent ray, this angle would be somehow, greater than this particular angle, right? So we usually observe that angle I and angle E are almost the same in this case. However, angle R is less than angle I, right? Now why do these incident ray and the emergent ray, they are parallel? The reason being because of the parallel surfaces, because of the two parallel surfaces of the glass slab. And this difference, this parallel distance, this shift between the incident ray and the emergent ray is known as the lateral displacement, right? So this is how we can explain the refraction of light through a glass slab. Okay, moving on, we have the reasons behind the lateral shift. So lateral displacement depends upon refractive index of a glass slab and thickness of a glass slab. So there are two things on which this lateral displacement depends. One is the refractive index of the glass slab. We will just shortly study about the refractive index, and the other one is the thickness of the glass slab. So it all depends upon how thick the glass slab is and the refractive index of the glass slab. Next we come to the laws of refraction. As we can see, the first law is almost similar to that of reflection, that is the incident ray, refracted ray and the normal to the interface of two transparent media at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So we basically have, if we go to see, like in case of, if we see, in case of refraction, that is the incident ray, as we have already studied in previously in the glass slab, that here the incident ray, this is the incident ray, the refracted ray, these are the points of incidence, right? So this is one of the normals, this is the other normal, right? The emergent ray. So usually if we say that this is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray, and this is the emergent ray. So basically we are talking about the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal, because for the second interface this will act as an incident ray, and this emergent ray which we were talking about becomes the refracted ray, and these are the normal. So there are basically three types of rays: the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal. At the two at the point of incidence of the two transparent media, they all lie in the same plane. Okay, and then we talk about the Snell's law. What is the Snell's law? The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction for a given color of light and given pair of media is a constant value, and this constant value refers to as the refractive index of that particular material. So Snell's law basically tells about the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction, which gives us a constant value for a particular pair of media. For example, if we are talking about air and glass, right, for one of the colors of light only, then we say that it's a constant value, and that constant value is also termed as a refractive index. Now, as we have already discussed, that lateral displacement depends upon refractive index and thickness of the glass slab. So refractive index is the extent to which the bending of light takes place when it moves from one medium to another. So extent of bending, that is the extent of bending, will it be moving towards or it will be moving away from the normal when it travels from one medium to another is usually referred to as its refractive index. So every material that is present around us has a refractive index. So we usually compare it with a certain value. Either we compare the refractive index of the two medium, or we compare it with that of air, right? So the extent of bending of light when it travels from one medium to another is known as refractive index. It is given by N12, and it is refractive index. This is read as refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2. And how much is this? N12 is given by V2 upon V1. That is velocity of light in medium 2 upon velocity of light in medium 1. Likewise, N21, that is refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. This is V1 upon V2. And what do we call this as? We call this as a relative refractive index. Why relative? Because we are comparing one refractive index of one medium with respect to another medium. So this is how we understand the relative refractive index, that how much bending of light takes place when light is traveling from one medium to another. So it is basically the ratio of the velocity of the two concerned mediums, right? Ratio of velocity of light in the two concerned mediums, right? Next